Hello, I'm John Klobuchar with InEight, and I'd like to welcome you to the latest webcast in our Connected Analytics series. Today's webcast is titled, How to Enable a Data-Driven Culture. Our presenter today is Natalie Takis, who is the Product Manager for Connected Analytics at InEight. In this role, Natalie maintains the roadmap for our Connected Analytics solutions through research and by prioritizing future features. She also spends time engaging with customers to understand how our features can best be designed to work with their business practices. Now, if you have any questions as you watch the webcast, please email them to webcasts@innate.com, and Natalie will do her best to answer them. Also, this presentation is being recorded, and we'll be sending you a link to the video in about a week's time. Once again, we're glad you've joined us, and now let me introduce Natalie Takis.
Thanks, John. I want to open by telling you about InNate Products Report and Explore, how they capture and expose data from InNate's Project Suite products, which represent the entire project lifecycle. Today, I will be presenting on the importance of becoming a data-driven organization and how you can achieve this by using InNate's tools. Customizable dashboards, like the ones found in InNate Explore, can help an organization make the shift to consider metrics when making decisions or looking for problems to address. First, let's talk about the characteristics of a data-driven culture and what that means in the context of the construction industry. How can these seemingly popular buzzwords affect an industry notorious for abundant cost and schedule overruns while also lacking digitization? A data-driven culture is born out of the desire to know why and how, rather than merely accepting this is how things have always been. It goes beyond knowing where your project is at every month in terms of cost versus budget or earn versus actual. It's the drive to understand causality. If a project is doing well, why? And taking a step further, how can we ensure that this project continues to do well? When members of an organization begin to ask these questions, it creates opportunities to make job sites safer, improve productivity, and ensure project certainty. Why is the concrete work behind schedule? Why does the steel on this job have so many quality issues, and how can we correct this pattern? These are the kinds of questions that can help reposition an organization. Leveraging historical data can also provide an understanding of what has and has not gone well in the past, which can help inform the future. And historical data can drive the need to create repeatable processes. Understanding successful plans, schedules, etc., can help in identifying what made them successful, so to repeat them. This helps ensure projects hit their milestones on time and manage their cost responsibly. Knowing what was not successful can help an organization avoid repeating those mistakes. If you are looking to achieve a certain productivity factor or accomplish a specific amount of work per day and have never been able to accomplish this in the past, utilizing historical data can help you point to what you could have done differently to meet this goal in the future. In bidding new projects, examining similar past projects can help in accounting for change orders that might arise. Using trend analysis can inform project personnel of where they are projecting to end their month, year, or even project completion. And more complicated predictive algorithms can help project schedulers to create optimal schedules based on past project data. Now, drawing upon intuition and knowledge from experience is still essential to project success. Making decisions based on a metric or a figure while ignoring intuition can prove just as costly as accepting that this is how we always have and always will do things. It's the element of experience and understanding in the context of what the metrics are reporting that will truly empower the user to maximize the benefits of data and analytics. Experience lends context. Field knowledge will allow for the correct interpretation of metrics and KPIs presented in reporting. Data-driven organizations have not eliminated instinct-driven decisions. They have evolved to use the facts to support or negate them. And oftentimes, instinct is a good place to start asking questions. So how does this relate to Innate Solutions? In InNate Explore, users can find dashboards that expose data from other InNate Project Suite products. Explore contains a set of standard dashboards that brings data together from their silos, allowing users to see the full picture. Users can also manipulate and share these dashboards throughout their project or organization. Each dashboard has been created with a specific business process in mind. They display metrics proven by experience and are thoroughly tested. These dashboards go beyond a typical tabular report. The way in which the visualizations have been designed lend to identifying trends and calling attention to actionable items quicker than merely reviewing an Excel-like report consisting of rows and columns. To achieve this in-application dashboard capability, we have embedded Power BI into Innate Explorer. This means that in Explorer, users will have a similar experience to using Microsoft's Power BI desktop application. We elected to move forward with Power BI for a few reasons. First, Power BI has been gaining traction over the years in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. In Gartner's Magic Quadrant for Analytics and Business Intelligence Platforms, published in 2019, you can see in the slide, Microsoft was named an industry leader in Gartner's annual study. What does that mean exactly? Gartner evaluates tools based on 5 use cases and 15 critical capabilities. Each product is then rated on their ability to execute and completeness of vision. These ratings determine which quadrant the product lies in. As you can see, Microsoft earned high scores for both criteria, and as a result, they fall in the leader quadrant. The 2019 Gartner report I just mentioned listed 3 strengths of Power BI. These are also reasons we elected to utilize this tool. The price point is relatively low in the industry, and there is no additional licensing fee to utilize this embedded version. Ease of use was also listed as a strength because of its similarity with other Microsoft products. Power BI is really easy to pick up. And there is a large virtual community of Power BI users who have created literature that aid in troubleshooting if needed. And finally, the product roadmap is driven by the user community, which results in their tool aligning with our needs and the needs of our users. So let's jump into the application. When you enter into Innate Explorer, you will find a list of standard dashboards on the left-hand side of the screen. Select one, and it will then load into the viewing pane, which is in the middle of the screen. Now going back over to the dashboard name, to the right of it, in the list, select the vertical ellipsis button to begin editing the dashboard. Select the first option, Edit Dashboard, and this will take you into editing mode. The editing pane will appear on the right side of the screen, and this consists of many features found in the Power BI desktop version. Here, users can delete, create, and change visualizations. They can also add tabs to a dashboard. The edited version of your dashboard will be saved as a copy of the original with a new name given by the user. Dashboard editing is a very popular tool to draw insights from your data and to visualize it in a way that may or may not have been possible in a standard tabular report. So now let's walk through a few examples of changes users can make during the editing experience using this work packaging dashboard. With the rollout of advanced work packaging, we have made that data available here. So I can collapse this left-hand pane over to create a little more room in the screen. I can also collapse this filters pane. So in our work planning dashboard, we, like I mentioned, are pulling data from plan in progress and highlighting the work packages that come with the advanced work packaging capabilities. So in this dashboard, you can see we break out work packages by status and discipline. We have line item information, and then we've got a schedule, a Gantt chart here that shows where your CWPs and your IWPs are at. It also shows their disciplines. Then moving on to the next tab, the schedule tab. This is another Gantt chart here, but this one is showing in terms of work package. So again, we can see that schedule. And then finally, we have an earned versus total man hours tab. This shows two visualizations that give you your total versus your earned in terms of discipline or status. And then on the left-hand side, there is a more tabular representation of this information if you are, again, looking to get into that line item level. Now, this is a great dashboard for the owner persona because it allows for you to do analysis across projects. So if you are responsible for the progress on multiple projects, this allows you to draw that comparison. Now, say as an owner, this work package by status discipline visualization isn't necessarily applicable to what I want to see. So I can quickly delete that, and I want to see more of a project comparison here. So I'll just expand this one out and add projects into this x-axis here. So I will come over to this right-hand side in the Fields pane, select Projects, and open that up. I'll see all of the fields that I can use from this data source. I can select Project and drag it over to my axis container, which will then add it to the bottom of this graph here. Now you can see that this chart is broken out by project, and it's detailing all the work packages and then stacking them by status. So since I do have status in this axis pane still, that gives me the ability to drill down. And so what that looks like is, I'll turn on this drill down capability here. And if there's one project I'm specifically interested in getting more of a detailed view, I can click on that and it'll show me the different statuses, work packages by status across the bottom. So then I can turn off the drill capability. And as you see, when I clicked on a specific project, it then filtered the rest of the visualizations down to only looking at metrics that are applicable to that specific project. Another one of our more heavily used dashboards is the operations dashboard. This dashboard is also pulling data from Plan and Progress. It's designed to give you a look at information coming from your daily plans. So the first two tabs on this dashboard, this daily plan summary, organization, and project scorecard tabs, those are designed to be a multiple project view. So if you're looking to compare across projects, these are great tabs to utilize. So as you can see, this top 10 projects, daily plans by status is showing the top 10 projects utilizing daily plans and stacking the daily plan counts by status. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see hours and quantities approved, and quantities and hours that aren't approved are highlighted in orange. So this is an example of how our visualizations are designed to draw attention where action is needed. So someone looking at this might wonder, why are there so many hours that haven't been approved? Clicking on this visualization will filter down the rest of the dashboard and show you your line items over here. So if you're looking at this dashboard and you need somebody to go approve hours, this will help you narrow down to who you need to contact, which project it is, and let them know that they need to approve their hours. Looking at the project scorecard tab, this compares your top 10 and bottom 10 projects by gain loss. So what is really awesome about this tab is it allows you to toggle back and forth between gain loss and productivity factors. So what that means is if I press this toggle here, it switches all my visualizations to show in terms of productivity factor rather than my gain loss. So you can see your top and bottom 10 executors across projects, and then your approved hours by productivity factor, again, affected by that toggle. It was gain loss, and now productivity factor. And this tabular visualization down here shows you both your gain loss and your productivity factor by project. So moving on to the daily plan summary tab, this is where we start to get into the single project design tabs. So I can come to this project slicer here and type in the project that I'm responsible for to find it in this list. And then that filter will propagate through all of the visualizations on this tab. As you can see, very similar to the daily plan summary organization tab, but altered a little bit to make it more project specific. So again, with the awaiting approval, these daily plans are highlighted in orange, so I can then draw action to where to approving those daily plans, to understanding why they haven't been approved yet. The daily scorecard tab gives you visualizations about your executors and again your approved gain loss by your executor, and then hours approved and productivity factor by executor, which allows you to drill down into your approvers. The operations tab compares your planned, approved, and earned man hours. You can see the 3 bar and line charts, split it out by location, approver, and executor. Again, the ability to toggle back and forth between productivity factor and gain loss. Over on the right-hand side, you can compare your top and bottom 5 cost items by that gain loss or that productivity factor. And then this tabular visualization down here allows you to see that line item information by CVS position. The operations account code tab displays very similar visualizations. However, it's broken out by account code. And then you can see your top and bottom 5 account codes. Your account code hierarchy is in this table down here with the ability to expand and collapse your rows. The account code performance tab, again, looking at the performance of the account codes on your job. You can see approved hours and productivity factor by daily plan ID here. The performance curves tab shows you your, again, productivity factor or gain loss projected over time. So you can see how it trends. And finally, the Coup Results tab. This allows you to compare executors on your project. So if you wanted to see the approved gain loss and the productivity factor of each specific executor, you can do that by opening up this filter and selecting one or multiple. And that'll show you your data across your project. Now, recently, a user expressed the desire to add more detail to the Performance Curves tab. This project finds great value in being able to see the productivity factor for their project over time, but what would make it even more helpful is if they could control the date range for this visualization rather than seeing the data for the lifetime of the project. So, if the user wanted to see, say, a week's worth of data, they would have to add in a filter here. This is a really quick and easy change that you can make in InEight Explorer, and what's really great about this example is that it eliminates having to engage an IT department or the InEight team. So I'll navigate over to the Visualizations pane on the right-hand side. I'll click on my Slicer visualization and drag that over to where I'm going to want it on the dashboard. Coming over to the Fields tab, I can open up this calendar source and see all of the fields that are in it. I will select calendar date, drag it over to the field container, and then that will change the way my slicer looks based on the data that I've added to it. I also can take the type of date slicer and change it as well. So I'll select relative date. It will allow me to select the last, next, or this interval of time. So I can look at this visualization by days, weeks, months, years. The specific request was to be able to look at the last week. There might not be any data for this week here, so I can also look at the last 6 months if I wanted to. And so then that'll show me a smaller chunk of the data that is a little bit easier to consume rather than having to look at the data for the whole life cycle of that project. Another request that I've received is to be able to look at your daily plan summary tab by approver. This is also as easy as adding in another slicer. So I will go back to my visualizations pane, click on the slicer, and place that over here where my other slicers are. And then I'll add in the approver. So if I come into this daily plan summary source, I can drag my approver 1 field over, change the way this filter looks, and now I can filter this dashboard down by approver. And it'll show me all the metrics for that specific approver. Now, let's take this a step further. Say this user that wanted to make this edit to the dashboard is responsible for multiple approvers, but they don't want to have to come into this filter every time and find the specific approver they're looking for because that list can be really large on a big project. This is a great opportunity to utilize the bookmarking capability in Power BI. Now, what a bookmark is it's a saved configuration of a dashboard tab that allows you to easily toggle back and forth between the filter you're looking for on these visualizations. So the productivity factor and gain loss toggles are also a great use of this bookmarking capability. As you can see in this bookmarks pane here, we do have GL on, PF on. Those represent the different states of that performance curves tab. So say I wanted to add a bookmark for each approver that I want to look at so I don't have to dig through that slicer every time. So with the visualizations the way they are now, I'll just click Add, and then a new bookmark will appear in this Bookmarks pane. To rename it, I can double click it, or I can click on this ellipsis button here, and I will just call this one Christy R. And so now every time I want to see this, all I have to do is click on the Christy R bookmark. Say I have another approver that I'm responsible for again. I'll select their name, make sure all of these visualizations on the tab are exactly how I want them, click Add in the Bookmarks tab, and then rename it. And so now I can toggle back and forth between Christy and Dominic. So now that we've walked through the benefits of editing and bookmarking your dashboards, let's talk about how to share that information across your project or organization. Once you have a dashboard tailored to your specific needs and you have it saved, select it in your dashboard list and click on the vertical ellipsis button. Then select your sharing option. This will bring up a dialog box that will allow you to share with an organization, a project, or an individual user. You can also share with maybe one user and 2 projects, or 3 users and 1 project. You can mix and match there. So I'm going to select person, and then I'll start typing in the name of the person that I want to share this with. Once you select the person in the list that appears based off of what you've typed, you can click share. You'll get a toast message at the top that will tell you your dashboard has been shared. You'll also get an icon in your dashboard list that if you hover over it, it'll tell you that you're sharing this dashboard, or if the dashboard has been shared with you. Now, if you want to remove sharing, it's as easy as a click of a button. So again, that vertical ellipsis, select remove sharing. You'll be asked if this is what you want to do, select yes, and that sharing will be immediately removed. So let's talk about the benefits of all of this. So with dashboard editing, this is a great tool because, as you've seen today, in Explore, you can utilize dashboards that have industry-proven metrics, but you might need to make a small change to it that won't take you much time at all. In fact, the benefit here is that it saves you from having to put in a ticket with your IT organization or having to contact the InEight team. It allows you to take the control into your own hands. With dashboard bookmarking, you're also saving time by creating those buttons on the side where you don't have to sift through filters or jump from multiple tabs. If you want a visualization to display in current budget or current estimate, you have the ability to do that and make that change yourself. And finally, with dashboard sharing, this allows you to spread information throughout your organization and ensure that everyone is using the same source of their data and reporting off of the same information. I think the biggest benefit of all of these features is that you never have to leave the application. InEight Explorer is your one-stop shop for all of your analytics needs. And so I'll leave you with my final remarks. Becoming a data-driven organization is a significant paradigmatic shift for any organization, and it takes time to achieve. Everyone can begin by making small changes and using reports and dashboards to validate decisions, big or small. As I have demonstrated to you today, InEight Explorer has been thoughtfully designed to promote this kind of behavior within your organization. And I hope you understand now that the way we consume information can have a large impact on productivity, profitability, and future planning. It's up to you where to begin. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Natalie. Again, if you have any questions, please email them to webcasts@innate.com. To learn more about InEight, as well as our connected analytics solutions, visit innate.com and click on the Request a Demo button. And if you'd like to see a schedule of upcoming webcasts, visit innate.com/webcasts. Thank you for watching. This concludes our presentation.